Hi. So one of the things there's a lot of people that don't know what to do with their time. One of the things they could do is they could listen to the songs and they could, live out part of the songs as long as they're positive and um, not gonna hurt anybody, of course. Um, there's a song by Billy Carrington, I think it is. It's God is great, beer is good, and people are crazy. Um, it's an interesting song because he talks about how he goes to this bar in Ohio and he gets to talking to this man and he was nice to this man. They had talked for a couple hours and he ended up leaving him his money. Those things happen because sometimes kids are so ungrateful and mean to their parents and disrespectful, and they have this entitlement thing like that they could just shit on you and you're still supposed to help them. You know, they no matter uh, they start making a few bucks and they think that you're, you know, they don't have any use for you anymore, and they think that that's gonna fly. So sometimes, moms and daughters go through this stage. And sometimes they'll last a long time, and sometimes mom's okay with it and say, look, you know what? If this is about respect, so you stop being their crutch for a while. And sometimes you have to wait till circumstances happen and get out of the way and let them handle it. And say, boy, you could have went through that a lot quicker if I was there giving you sharing some of my wisdom. And next time maybe you'll show respect. You know. Um, so some things that people can do is they can get out there and live some of these songs. Uh, whatever. If you just listen to the song, you gotta broaden your horizons with music too. Listen to some Andre Bocelli, some Celine Dion, some Shania, some 50 Cent even. You know, 50 Cent talks about it's your birthday, or the other one is sipping Bacardi by the bar, living a good life. The good life is your good life. It doesn't mean it does. A good life. I don't think is about having three airplanes, with some of these Wall Street guys have with hard-earned taxpayers' dollars. You know, I mean, it's obviously the guy doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how. He doesn't understand how he could go swimming. He can go to a hot tub. He could have some chicken. He could go shopping. He could travel somewhere. Just basic, simple things like you know, and simplicity can bring sophistication to a person's life. Get out there and start helping and stuff, and you know, but in a smart way, and enjoying your life. Why, like I suggested, just say okay, well, because people are crazy. You gotta watch out for them. When I'm outside and I see a squirrel, it's kind of looking at me, and then he runs. I'm like, I don't blame you, run, buddy, because the people are crazy. When I feed the deer, and I don't know if it's the same deer, but this particular deer, he's like this junior boy. I guess the boy has the antlers, and he looked at me and then he takes off, and I'm like, oh, he was so cute. And then the other ones follow him. But then when I saw him a couple of days later, he stood for a few seconds and looked at me, and I was like, you can't do that all the time. I'm thinking like you just don't know who's after you, man. These humans, you know, you gotta watch out for humans. This is a true story. I was walking to the gym, and this buck came up behind me, and he walked he was trotting along, and then he got on the grass, and then he came back on the sidewalk, and you can imagine, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I mean, where does this happen? I'm a big city girl, right? I was just like, close. I try not to get into where I stay because I'm being stalked by that lawyer. Um, and lawyers, I guess, because we're representing the lawyers. And so, yeah, that deer had more compassion for me than some human beings. Can you imagine? He had enough sense to get out of the way and go around so he didn't hurt me. That was sweet. The construction guy told me that he was standing back there and he was stopped, and then he started like, you know, um, trotting along. He didn't use the word trotting along. I did. And he goes, I thought he was gonna attack you. You know, and it didn't register right. You know how sometimes people say stuff and doesn't register right away? Because I was just listening to what he was saying about what happened because the buck came up behind me. And then he showed me he had a picture of the buck on his phone, which he emailed to me the next day. I gave him my email. But I thought to myself afterwards, I said, wow, I mean, you thought he was going to attack me and you didn't even warn me. I had my iPod on, you know. It was just, he could have really hurt me. He could have maybe even killed me. And he said it was a good sized buck. I was like, yeah. And when I see the other ones out there, then I'm really like, yeah, he was big. Because the other ones are like, you know, they're little junior ones, you know. They're so cute. But, um, anyway, so I was going on about something. Now I'm talking about bucks, and I forgot what I was talking about. Sometimes I just lose my train of thought. What was I talking about? Um, yeah, the songs. So you can get out and listen to some songs and just, you know, you could say, even if it's a video like Beyonce's Bootylicious, try to dance like her. It's a lot of fun. You know, you see a belly dancer, try to dance like her. Or you can even, you know, just Google like how to belly dance. Um, there's different things, and there's Garth Brooks has the song uh, "Friends in Low Places." You know, sometimes you know you can just ruin something for them. Like I ruined it for the judge up in BC. He just had fear-stricken people all around him until I came in and just I was so shocked that he was hearing this matter after I was emailing. I was like, why aren't you enforcing my child support order that you said you were seized in the... You made the order. You said you were overseeing it. That's what seized of the matter means. And here he is listening to all these two other cases. And I'm already like filing complaints about him and told him. I sent him an email. I was like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you helping? People need help here. People need these enforced, right? So when he was there the next day, pardon me, when I went, and he was there, and they called me up so quickly. I was like the second person up, and I had to defend myself, my company, myself, because I know the lawyers were trying to get me to lawyer up so that I would lose in court, and I didn't. I represented myself, and I actually won that case. My argument won, but did I get the win? Oh no, because of the corruption, right? And but I ruined it for him. I yelled at the judge. I was like, oh, I yelled at him. I'm like, why are you even hearing this matter? I didn't think about it beforehand. I just, you know. And he was so shocked. I said, I already filed complaints about you. You know that. You'd seen the emails. And he was just, he was so shocked. Then, if you could see steam, honestly. Like, you didn't see the steam, but if he could have just, he was pissed off. And I wanted more time to prepare my case. I was like, this was the end of June. And I was like, let's do this in September, right? No, we're doing it tomorrow. I'm like, tomorrow? I don't have enough time to prepare. So, using the common sense that God gave me, I understand the forces that be. And I had already been at it with this lawyer for like 6 months, right? And I just received a letter from the government, CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, and they said, after seeing the emails, they said, report the criminal behavior to the police. And I submitted that with the paperwork when I filed a motion against the Law Society. And so I ruined it. They're like, I can't believe she's standing up to this, because they're walking around like, you know, it's like, it's supposed to be a democracy in a court, but it's not. It's like a criminal world. It's like the devil's workshop down there in the courts. I mean, judges got to get in there. Even judges, like, this is not a democracy. Like, this is evil, what's going on in there. And, oh my, you have to see these bunch of spoiled little bastards in there. Oh yeah, they're just like these whinesters, criminals, and, If you see this judge, you could tell him I said that he could kiss my ass. You could tell him that. Tell him I said he could kiss my ass. So, it's just, and the next day, oh, he had the three sheriffs who were at the back, okay? And you could see them looking over and looking over. They do the eye thing, right? That's how these dirty things go down in the courtrooms in BC. They do the eye contact, like they don't realize that other people could see what they're doing. They're that stupid. I mean, they're educated criminals, educated stupid people. I'm sorry, they're educated, but they're stupid. Cause I'm watching them. I'm like, you realize I'm in a room and I could see you with the eye movement. I could see the three sheriffs. If I yell at you again today, then they're gonna haul me off to jail. So obviously I can't yell at you. But I mean, I didn't go in there planning to yell at the judge, right? But I went in there. They had no evidence to file this injunction, and the judge talked about me getting shot in the head, and it's on audio. And the court transcript. I mean, it's just sick to go in. I mean, it really, really, really is just so evil when you go into a court and you ask a judge, to hear a matter, and he's paid $250,000 and he's supposed to rule on the evidence. If there was no evidence to file this injunction, I don't give anybody legal advice. I facilitate things. I'm a smart woman. I'm very knowledgeable, right? And yeah, it was. He should be removed from the bench. And Kleisinger, yeah, that thing, that piece of crap. I told him to go to hell when he sent me that 15-page email the first time. I told him, I said, "You go to hell, buddy. I'm not a lawyer. You have no jurisdiction over me. You can't tell me what to do. This is a free market. I don't give people legal advice. They don't come to me for legal advice. So who the hell is he?" They put this, people are going down to the Law Society. You know what? So many people email me. So many people. They go in and file complaints about lawyers. Nothing's done. They don't do anything. Because it's lawyers. I mean, seriously, is a lawyer going to reprimand another lawyer? Like, maybe if it was something like that they had to, that it was so obvious. But if they can get away with not, it's all their own little world, their little clique, But so I tell you, I don't know why people are so scared of these guys. They're a bunch of whiny ass whinsters. They're a bunch of criminals. Not all of them, But these other judges should go in and set an example. The police go in and arrest them. That's what they do in Russia. All the corruption, they just go and arrest the judges. Taxpayers are fed up, man. Get on the phone. Start helping facilitate uncontested divorces. Watch them come after you. Tell them to go to hell. They like that. Because they're all hopped up on their egos, right? Oh, their titles. Their titles. Oh, I'm this and I'm that. How dare you say that to me? I'll kiss my ass. So, but I held it together in court, and I was professional, and I won, and of course I didn't get my win. You don't get your win in Canada. The place is run by the wicked. It's wicked. And, awful. A lot of good people are getting harmed up there. And they don't want to lock up the criminals, so these criminals, they can get into the States. You know how? Because they don't have a criminal record. Because the judges don't want to lock these guys up. Their tax money spent in that way? Are you kidding? So now they can just come on over to the States. They can go on over into the States because they don't have a criminal record. So the Border Patrol has nothing no red flags, right? Nothing to prevent them to come in when they should have. So it's something to look at. People should really start to look at what's going up there. Canada's not this sweet little friendly country. Canada is like a wicked country. run by wicked. There's a lot of good people there that are getting harmed by the wicked.